What's up, guys? It's Studley Boys here. We're going to do a quick breakdown on the recent Ubisoft Forward showcase. We're just going to react and give our opinions on everything that was shown today. If you like the video, you can always support us by liking and subscribing. If you want to hang out with us, we stream on Twitch every Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays.
And of course, before we get started, a word from our sponsors. Today's sponsored video is our Amazon affiliate links.
We set up links to the various equipment we use to stream and produce these shows. Every streamer and YouTuber needs a good mic, which is why we use the Blue Yeti microphone.
The mic that we use offers the crisp audio quality at an affordable price. So definitely check out the links down below for affiliate links, and any support there also supports us right here in this show.
All right, let's get on with the breakdown.
Let's do this. All right, guys, the very first one that was released was Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Now, before we get started to go break down this further, we won't actually show the gameplay of the video because obviously we want to just kind of do a breakdown of this. But if you guys want to check out the full trailer, as well as any trailers that we have in this video, definitely check it out in the description down below. We'll have the timestamps and ready for you to check out.
Yep.
But rolling into Valhalla here, I'm actually kind of excited about this one. The last Assassin's Creed game that I played was, I think, Odyssey. I want to say it's Odyssey. I can't remember exactly the name, but
yeah.
The reason why I'm excited for this one is because they're bringing back a lot of the cool stuff that was kind of taken out from it. One of which is like the hidden blade feature that was introduced in previous games. They also brought back more of like the ship battles that was in Black Flag prominently, and it looked really cool. Like from what I saw in the trailer. Like. I don't know about you, Riven. You haven't played much of it at all for a while, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Well, based on the trailer, it seemed like Assassin's Creed really took like a more combat focused direction. So it was nice that they're implementing a little bit more of the stealth things, the stealth elements of the previous games.
And it looks like they're doing like a lot of like plundering, because it makes sense that the Vikings plundered and stuff like that. So I guess you have your own crew that you can take with you to like plunder different villages.
Yeah.
And take over like strong keeps and stuff like that. So that looked pretty cool.
I noticed that I don't know if this was like a feature of the previous games, but you can change your fighting style depending on what weapons you equip. Like you can equip different combinations of weapons on each hand, and I think you were also able to equip shields as well. Like you can double shield. Yeah.
But I believe you can do that in previous. I don't remember because obviously it's been a while since I played these Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah.
I think there was Origins, there was Odyssey that I remember playing. But for the most part, yeah, like depending on which weapon you use, could actually. You could be like more of a stuff killer, where like with your bow, for example, be more far, or you'd be more hands-on with a sword. And apparently, this dual shielding. I'm not sure how that's going to work.
I'm guessing it's more like defensive, but like from the trailer that was shown, you can still attack with the shield. Like you can do like a shield.
I mean, it's like a bladed shield. Yeah, it's like a bladed shield.
Yeah. That was kind of cool. And you also have like a mace. So if you want to, I feel like that's more like. To break down defenses, like break down shields, so you can that's an option.
Yeah, probably like the bigger enemies. Like you could probably like, I guess depending on what enemies you have. Like if they're more like agile enemies, you could probably and they're like quick. Maybe the dual shields will be good to kind of defend and retaliate. But if it's like going for like a big like gigantic person that's like more heavy, then you probably break down some of the heavier weapons.
Yeah. It hasn't really changed, the formula of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It still pretty much retains the same core gameplay. It's just with a different skin. Obviously, it's more Viking based.
After Black Flag, it kind of went downhill a little bit with Unity and all that, and so like they kind of like when Origins came out, they kind of brought back the core and the stuff that people really wanted. Yeah. And since then, it's been pretty decent in terms of Assassin's Creed gameplay, so as long as they keep that same flavored element, because like what's not broken, don't fix it type of mentality. If that's still there for this game, Valhalla, I think it's still going to be, it's going to be like what we know and love about it, basically.
Yeah. And also they incorporated like RPG elements. According to this, there's like different tech trees now. I don't know if that's always been in the game.
That's been there. Yeah, it's been there.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so that was always pretty cool. Like you can develop your character how you want it, using the stats that you build up and level up. And the one thing that we want to mention as well is like similar to, I believe it was Odyssey, where they have like different leaders. We saw like 5 different leaders in Valhalla that you can like attack and and assassinate. It looks like, and it looks like they're kind of showing up that those different leaders you can set your missions against.
Yeah.
Like right there, I think the paragraph right there, like Odyssey, yeah, Valhalla offers interactive dialogue that lets you to choose whether you want to kill a rival leader, recruit an ally, or romance a companion.
I don't know if this was in previous games. This was honestly one of the cooler things. Now, like the Vikings were known as like raiders, right? They'd pillage like settlements and stuff like that. So,
I think this is new. I don't remember this from previous Assassin's Creed games. So I think this is a new gameplay.
Yeah, so being like them trying to be historically accurate, there's like an assault mode or something. Well, not assault mode, but there's like an assault feature.
They call it raid. They call it raid mode.
Raid mode. Okay, yeah. So you're pretty much commanding a small army, and you guys are trying to break down the defenses of like a fortress or something, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. Like we saw a glimpse of it over here in this trailer, but like I'm not sure. Okay, the one fear I have with it is depending on like how massive is this raid. Is it going to be like one of those like short, like almost like a side quest fetch mission type deal where, oh well, we have a raid here and a raid here. Which one do you want to do? Do this raid, and it's not like all the raids feel the same. You know what I mean? Like it's like copy paste raids. That's what I fear, because like there are certain elements of like previous games where it's like, oh, this feature was cool, but they made it so mundane and so monotonous and tedious that it wasn't really like cool. So I'm hoping that it's like cool, like unique and exciting, because that's what makes the game exciting for the Vikings is plundering and
raiding,
whatever.
Yeah. But
exactly.
According to this the sentence over here, it says here that raids aren't required. So if you don't want to do it, you don't have to.
See that's a red flag for me. I don't know, man.
Yes, yeah, so look, raids aren't required, but if you wanna infiltrate the fortress, you can go in there and stealth your way in.
Oh yeah, so there's like different ways to do it. Yeah,
so you can, I guess it's like an option. You can either choose to raid, try to do the front door approach or the back door approach.
What they might do, I bet you they can do like this, where they'll show you like a level of like what you need to be, like recommend the level 35, whatever, and then you have maybe a separate level for your entire crew, possibly, and then it'll show you if you can actually raid them successfully, or if you want to do more stealth and because you want to save your resources and all that good stuff. I kind of feel like it's going to be like that.
According to this, they revamped the health system as well. So instead of passively regenerating your HP, right, you have rations that you can get by collecting berries and mushrooms around the world and stuff like that. So I guess that
makes sense.
It uses up those rations in order to refill your health.
Yeah, because it's kind of funny, like in the previous games where let's say you have you're trying to do stealth kills or whatever, and you get caught, and you're like your HP is super low. You just run away from the battle, go into the ocean, and then wait till your HP comes back up, and then go back inside the castle.
Right, yeah.
So they made it a little bit more, I guess, realistic. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I guess we'll just find out.
Well, I think it's a strategic thing. It gives you, I guess, like an element of resource management there. Like you can't rush your way in. You can also cheese your way in as well. By hiding and waiting for your health to come back. So it's very dependent on the rations you have, which is kind of cool. I kind of like that.
Yeah, I dig it. You can actually customize your own Viking settlement as well. So they kind of brought in the whole like settlement thing that you can build up your. So that's pretty cool.
That wasn't part of the previous games, right?
I don't believe so. Because it always felt like the village was already there, or you're like more like a nomad type person. So this felt like more like a community building thing that you can have with your people. So like maybe certain NPCs you can like build relationships with, and obviously romance with. So
Romance.
so that'd be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
I'm wondering how they're gonna incorporate that into the game. Will there be like assaults on your own town, and then you have to defend, you know, like an enemy assault? Are there like
that's what they had in Fallout 4, if you remember.
yeah. Will there be like gatherers that you can level up? Like, you know, certain people will gather certain equipment and stuff like that. You know, like how are they
like
gonna
assign jobs and stuff?
Yeah. If like villagers have their own like jobs and stuff.
They didn't really talk about too much on it, but they did mention that they're going to have another reveal sometime before the release. It comes out November 17th, so we still got a lot more time to get more information on this. So
yes,
so I'm kind of curious to see more about the settlements, more about the raids, how that all falls in, whether mandatory or not, and I guess we just wait and see.
Yeah, graphic wise, it looks good though. You know, I think is it going to be next gen as well? Is there do you know if it's gonna be next gen?
As far as what I know, yes, there will be a PS5 upscaled version. But okay, actually, there is because I remember there's an article that was a couple of weeks ago that we didn't really cover. Is they basically are going to have a PS5 version, but it's not going to be 60 frames. It's going to be locked in 30, and so that was kind of like the one thing that people like didn't like about it. If it's next gen, it should be 60 frames, like for sure. Right. They don't care. They don't care about 4K. They want the game to be 60 frames, but they focus more on the 4K aspect than the actual frames per second.
Okay, so moving on to the next game. There's gonna be a quick one since they only revealed
one aspect. Really.
Yeah, one aspect of it. So Ghost Recon Breakpoint will be adding a more sophisticated AI squad mates. One of the main criticisms of Ghost Recon Breakpoint is that the AI was horrible. So I guess Ubisoft decided to do something about it, and now they came up with a more sophisticated AI here. They were saying how they become available after a certain point in the story, but when you do get them, they're fully customizable, just like the main character. You know, you can change their appearance, their stats, and their
costumes,
abilities.
whatever. Yeah.
And even the weapon type. So their behavior is very adaptable, and they pretty much, you know, adapt to the way you play. So if you want to go more stealth, they'll equip silencers. You know, they'll crouch and they'll go into stealth mode. If you want to go guns blazing, you know, they'll also go guns blazing as well.
They also show kind of a cool aspect is like if you die, then their main priority is to kind of bring you back up, and vice versa. If when the allies go down, then it's up to you to bring them back up as well.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
Well, there's 3 of them, so 2 of them will give you covering fire, while the other one runs up to you and tries to revive you, which is kind of cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can pull up a radial wheel, and you can issue commands through there, and you can also do that.
You can also make the commands while you're using the drone as well.
Yes. Yeah. So you can really strategize your you know, like your approach. I think they were showing on the trailer how you guys can do like a simultaneous takedown on up to 7 people if you coordinate it right. So
yeah, that's pretty badass. Cool. It looked pretty cool. It looked pretty damn cool. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. So it will be coming out in a couple of days. So that's July 15th. So be on the lookout for that one for all you Ghost Recon Breakpoint players out there. Alrighty, moving into the next article. So it seems like Ubisoft is moving towards the Battle Royale genre now. So here's Hyperscape. I feel like the right now the market is saturated with so many Battle Royale type games.
Yeah. It really is. It really is.
You know, we have Fortnite, obviously, and
we have COD Mobile, Warzone. We have obviously Apex Legends. There's what else is there? PUBG.
Yes. Yes.
Honestly, the trailer they displayed was more like a story trailer, but the story it's kind of interesting where there's basically a game within a game or game within a VR game. So I guess the story takes place somehow where the character is trying to find out what's happening with like missing people in the real world, and they have to go inside this virtual world to be the crowned winner, whatever this crown battle that they have going on, to find out who this like hacker is within the game, to solve this mystery. Like, I'm not sure if it's going to be like the whole encompassing of this one season or the whole entire game. Because I know with certain battle royale games, is they separated by seasons, and they have their own story within that season, and they relate to each other as the season progresses.
Yeah.
So that is what kind of confused me a little bit, but at the same time,
I don't know if it's like there's like some sort of like single player element there as well, but I feel like its story is sort of like how like Overwatch's story is. You know, it's just really there. It doesn't really play a big role in the main gameplay.
It's probably the same thing. Well, if I know anything about battle royale, there's probably going to be one that's like a single player experience as well as a squad experience where you can have a team of 4 or a team of 5. Because that's what COD has. Call of Duty, that's what they have. Is you can squad up or you can do it solo. It all depends on what you want to do and how you want to play.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the gameplay real quick. So it pretty much plays just like any battle royale type game, right? So you and a squad are dropped down into like a massive map. And
basically, it's a player base of 100. It could be squad, it could be single.
Yes. Yeah. So you're dropped in with only like your melee weapon at first. So you have to like when you land, you have to walk around and try to find a weapon and group up with your squad mates. According to this, right, the whole map called Neo Arcadia, it's separated by 7 different districts, and each district has like its own different feel and look to it and architecture. And one of the things that they're focusing on here is verticality. They were stressing out verticality. In like most games, most battle royale games, it's just like you land on the ground, right? And then
Fortnite has some verticality, but it's not their main emphasis.
There's a lot of like focus on jumping, possibly like wall jumping and climbing, and there's a lot of jumping off of rooftops and
It kind of looked like too they were like teleporting as well. Like there's like a special abilities where you can like turn into like a ball and teleport to other like higher locations.
Yeah. So there's a big emphasis on going up rather than the typical forward, backwards, left, and right. So that's kind of cool. So I'm guessing each district of the map it sort of changes the architecture. So you have to like adapt depending on what district you're in.
Yeah, and obviously me and Riven, we haven't played the open beta. Apparently it just came out recently, like today, during the same day as the press conference. With other battle royale games, they have like a radius that goes that basically makes it smaller and smaller as the time goes on. It's like after a while you get to a certain radius where you have to meet in the middle and battle it out. But in this game, it seems like there is no radius, but it's all about like finding the last person. Maybe there is a radius. We have to play ourselves to kind of find out. Unless it shows up in its article.
Well, according to this, you had to find the crown. You have to find the crown, and
they say the crown is like once you reach the final I want to say it's like final 10, maybe final 5. I forget what the final number is, and then that's when you teleport into like this new location and to find that crown. And that's when the whole crown thing starts. The first 80% of the game is basically just a kind of wither down the competition.
All right. So in terms of like weapons and abilities, I don't know if the gameplay trailer stressed that each individual character has their own abilities, but you can find abilities in the game, and they call it hacks, right? So your character is able to equip 2 different weapons and 2 different abilities, or 2 different hacks. And you can improve them by finding like a duplicate of it. So if say you have a certain hack and you find like a duplicate of it, it'll improve the one that you have equipped.
Does that also apply to weapons?
Yes.
I thought it also applied to weapons too.
Okay. It applies to weapons as well. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And they say there's like multiple levels, like 7 multiple levels or more, maybe.
Yeah.
So that in itself is actually pretty cool. I do know that like with COD, for example, like you can find these epic parts and those are your mods, but you can't actually combine it to make it better. So like this is more like collecting, building up to that epic part versus just finding an epic part. Yeah. So that's kind of cool.
there's like special events scattered throughout the map, right? And depending on what the event is, it gives you like a different modifier. Like sometimes it's like 0G or something like that.
Yeah,
or,
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
yeah, and you're it they incorporated some sort of interactivity with your streaming viewers. If you're a streamer, you're streaming the game.
I still don't know how that works, but I guess it's possible to integrate it.
Yeah,
but
yeah. So
that's crazy.
I think they're letting viewers vote on what type of modifiers that each event will have. So your viewers will be able to participate.
I think I know how to do it. It's probably by their drops. There's a way to like integrate drops, enable drops on your games.
Yeah.
So maybe that's like integrated somehow with the game itself. So interesting.
Yeah. Or they can also mess with you too. Like if they know you don't like a certain play style, they'll.
Oh, I hate zero gravity. So okay, here's zero gravity.
Yeah. So that should be pretty entertaining. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be microtransactions. There's gonna be like an eShop or something you can get.
Yeah. Did it say if it's free to play? But you can.
I don't know.
I know. Well, right now it's open beta, right?
Yeah, it's currently in open beta, and it will be available for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. I think we'll include the link down to like beta sign up or something like that down below.
Yeah. All right, guys. The next one that I'm super hyped for is Watch Dogs Legions. Now, this actually, I want to say that like maybe a couple years ago, it was unveiled, and when I first saw that, it was really cool. Basically, the idea is that every single NPC that you encounter in London is a playable character. You can recruit them to basically take over London by hacking, doing stealth or not stealth, depending on your type of character you have. And obviously, we saw some more gameplay in this past Ubisoft Forward event, and it looks good. And this is the first time that Riven's seen it, so I'm curious to see what you think about it.
Yeah, honestly, it's pretty good. It's I haven't been this hyped for a Watch Dogs game at all.
Dude. Yeah. Well, honestly, I was hyped for the first Watch Dogs, and I got quickly disappointed from it.
Yeah.
The second Watch Dogs, I played a little bit of it, especially when it came for free in the PSN, but it just didn't have that same feel, and I want that one from it. But this one looks actually pretty damn good. Like, so I'm excited.
Storyline wise, London, it's being attacked by a terrorist. So this, I guess, a paramilitary group called Albion is sort of swooping in and quote unquote saving London, but what they're really doing is trying to take it over. And I guess you control like the people. Like there isn't just one player that you play as. It's
basically world against one player. Like usually how the gameplay works in other games is like one person versus the world, where now it's like the world versus one player. So it's kind of cool idea.
It says that every character, every citizen will be playable. And each one of them will have their own special abilities and
unique abilities.
Yeah, and I guess like a special. Each one of them will have a different specialization. Like some lean more towards stealth. Some leads more towards like combat.
Yeah, one character is like straight up John Wick.
Yeah. So they showed off the construction worker. He has like a drone that lets him fly. So I guess that lets him access like rooftops.
It's a construction drone. Yes, it's more like a platform thing for like getting over certain areas.
Yeah.
But
it gets him up to like higher ground, or if he wants to access like rooftops or something. And then they showed one character that it's more stealth. Like she utilizes like hacking and getting in, getting out silently.
Yeah, and she has her own drone as well that she can utilize as well.
Yeah, and then there was one character I really liked, which was an assassin, which I guess they based it off of John Wick because he kind of looks like him too. He's like his animations kind of moved like Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, and, we were joking while we were watching the trailer. He's gonna unmask himself, and it's Keanu Reeves.
Well, you kind of did see his face though. He had like a beard and stuff like that. So
it probably is, cool. Dude.
Yeah. So him, I guess I would also say he's a little bit of both. Like he can do a little bit of stealth, but also, he's
Yes.
yeah, he's pretty proficient in firearms, so he can.
What it looked like it for the gameplay is that you can slow down time so that way you can like get that precise headshot
Yeah.
before it goes back to normal speed. Obviously, we're both high for this game, but we have to keep in mind too, it's an Ubisoft game, and we were super high for the first Watch Dogs, and we were quickly disappointed from that. So I want to lay out some kind of fears from this game real quick with you.
Yeah.
They talk about like a million playable characters.
Yes.
But if you remember in the original Watch Dogs 1, they said, "Oh, that everything is hackable. Everything is like every NPC you see is hackable." But like we noticed quickly when we played the actual game when it came out, is a lot of the NPCs have like very generic, very like unimportant like NPC related stuff. And my fear is that they're going to have all these multiple playable characters, but not all of them are going to be super interesting. Like a vast majority. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about. Is every single citizen going to be playable? But having so many characters, it's hard to balance that many characters.
Yeah,
So,
well, I think there's going to be a maximum recruitable amount. Like if you look at the menu, it looked like you can get up to like 8, maybe 10 players.
right.
And
right,
then,
right.
but the one thing that Trail didn't really like put emphasis on is that these characters are if they die, they're dead forever. They're permadeath.
Right.
So
right.
basically, like if you ever like have a character that dies, you're gonna have to go back to the world and recruit more citizens
Right.
to join the force.
Yeah, that's kind of cool though. That's kind of cool. But I guess my fear would be that it's so hard to balance like, a million characters. I feel like only a certain number of characters will stick out. You know what I mean? Like maybe only the developers can only balance like maybe 50 characters or something. So only 50 of those characters out of a million will be usable,
and then it's like recycled, right?
Yeah,
like
the other ones are just like whatever.
Yeah.
So there's probably like, okay, to summarize what I'm saying, I feel like only a certain number of characters will be viable, while the others is just sort of generic.
There.
Yeah, but like you said, if the game is permadeath, you have no choice but to pick out like whoever's left, right? So I guess it balances out, in the end.
Yeah, because like kind of like what we mentioned before, it's the world versus one character. So like basically the entire city is your oyster of like characters to choose from. So like the one fear I have is like if you get really attached to one particular character, they're gone forever. And the caveat to that is because there's so many characters, you won't get attached to certain other characters.
Right.
It's kind of like when Chrono Cross had like 50 playable characters, whatever it was. There's like characters we don't even like touch and mess with.
I have a feeling they won't even flesh out the characters though, because it's how do you flesh out that many characters? So I feel like you're gonna have
they'll probably have like a short bio, like about the character, like, similar to what they had in like Watch Dogs 1.
Right.
But after a while it does get recycled and like, okay, I've seen this before.
Yeah, I think your attachment to a character is going to be based on how long you've played with them. But it's not like you can flesh out all the characters and give them like a compelling backstory. So there might be some sort of like disconnect between the player and the character. But I don't think that's really going to matter because everything's going to be based on their skills, right? So who really cares about their storyline?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure once you see like their bio, you can see what skills they do have, and you can see, oh, this person might be useful for my next mission, so I'm gonna recruit this person.
Yeah,
that type of deal.
Right, and of course the game takes place in London, which is probably like a big open world map, similar to like Grand Theft Auto.
And it's kind of cool too, because I was actually in London for about 4 years, so it'd be kind of cool if I recognize places in London.
Yeah. Graphics wise, the game looks really, really pretty. But then
it looks very similar. It looks pretty similar to Watch Dogs 2, but maybe a little bit more enhanced. But
yeah,
for the most part, it kind of plays like Watch Dogs 2. But of course with that new added element.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the coolest things. I'm honestly kind of excited for this
Yeah,
game.
look at this menu right here that you have 4, 8, it's a 12, 16, 20. So it looks like maximum 20 recruitable. Is that what I'm seeing here?
Oh, this is 16, 4x4, so 17.
No, 20 total. I mean, like see this out, 3 empty boxes.
Yeah. 20, 20, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it says here 18 out of 20 is being used. Here, there's like an old woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess it gives you their stats and their
Their skills, maybe.
yeah, just like in previous Watch Dogs games.
It looks like they have a specialized weapon as well.
Yeah. Legions will be out later this year for PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Google Stadia. PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X versions of the game are also expected to be released this holiday season. Whether that's a free upgrade if you buy the current gen version, we don't know yet. Probably
It didn't
not.
say, huh? Yeah, it didn't say.
Yeah, we can only wait and see. But the game looks really, really good though. All right, moving into our last story. Far Cry 6 was the big announcement for the showcase. And before we begin, I just want to remind everyone that the links to the trailers and the article will be down in the description below. So if you guys want to check that out, it will be down there.
Yep.
All right. So Far Cry 6 revealed. Here's everything we know about Ubisoft's next open world shooter.
The trailer that we seen here was more like a story trailer, basically of a tyrannical boss and his son, and using a metaphor with the grenade. And
yeah, well,
I thought that was really cool. Like,
okay,
go ahead.
Me and Talos were wondering where the game took place, but according to this article here, it takes place in a fictional place called Yara, which is based off of Cuba. Yeah, we originally thought it would be like South American.
It did have like the forest feel to it, so but
yeah.
Then again, I've never been to Cuba to compare. So
yeah. Well, it's influenced by Cuba, but a lot of the Far Cry games are sort of like that. You know, like the main villain is always like some sort of warlord or something. So this is just
And just for reference too, like the last Far Cry game I played was I believe it was Far Cry 3 with the guy with the mohawk.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about you, but like I've kind of been I played a little bit of Far Cry 5, and I remember that was kind of like the what is it called, the those it was based in America, right?
Yeah,
it was like the one with the I forget, but I played a little bit of that, but I don't remember much of it.
Yeah, I haven't played that one. The last one I played was Far Cry Primal, and before that I played Far Cry 3. Far Cry Primal was pretty fun. I enjoyed it because it took place in like a prehistoric setting, which was kind of unique. I feel like each of the Far Cry games feel a little too similar.
Yeah, like they really do.
Like I mentioned earlier, there's like some sort of warlord in some like jungle country, right?
Well,
so interestingly,
Far Cry 5 wasn't in jungle though.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so one of the cool things here is that the main villain, Anton Castillo, is going to be played by Giancarlo Esposito, who was in Breaking Bad. So if he looks familiar to any of you guys, now you know why.
But look at this like screen grab right here. The gameplay feels very, very reminiscent of like Far Cry 5 for what I remember.
Yeah.
So
I also want to remind you guys that they only showed like a cinematic trailer. They didn't show any gameplay, I think.
Yes.
So we don't really have much to work on except for these screenshots. So let's take a look at them. As Talos mentioned, it does look similar to previous Far Cry games. Here
it looks like it takes place in like the 50s or 60s.
Yeah. These cars are looking kind of vintage, right?
Yeah. Oh, they have a doggy. IGN 10 out of 10.
Yeah. So there's like there's like a jungle setting as well as a more urban setting.
Yeah.
So there's like which is kind of cool. I don't know if there was like a full on city in the previous Far Cry games. It would be kind
I
of
don't
cool
remember.
if there's
I
like
don't
a
remember.
gigantic city portion.
I never got far in Far Cry 5, so I know that world was pretty massive as well in itself.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how big the world is here. Is might even be bigger than Far Cry 5 or whatever. So the fact that they can have a jungle and a kind of like city landscape,
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and some of these weapons will look kind of weird too.
Yeah, it's like MacGyver type stuff.
Yeah, it almost feels like they just sort of like cobbled a couple of parts together to create like a super weapon.
That looks like a muffler right there that it has, and he made it to a weapon.
Yeah,
a car muffler. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so it looks like you just like sort of made like a Frankenstein weapon or something like that from various parts. So I guess that's like that might be a feature in the game that you could just cobble together a couple of parts and create like a weapon for.
I mean, this guy looks like a repair guy. Look, he has all the tools to like fix your weapons or something or make it.
Look at this.
Wow.
What do you think about the graphics though? See, I don't know if this is in-game graphics. It looks a little too good. Like I feel like it was pre-rendered.
To be honest, they probably enhanced it a bit, but I believe this is going to be in-game. But even if it is in-game, it still doesn't feel like it's next gen. It still feels because it kind of reminds me of Far Cry 5 because Far Cry 5 would look pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And it looks kind of similar to Far Cry 5, honestly. So it doesn't really feel next gen.
Look at the background too. The background seems kind of pre-rendered, don't you think?
Yeah. It felt like some After Effects on there.
Yeah.
Look at that horse too. It looks really good.
Yeah. Like what the fuck? Yeah, and there's not really much to talk about other than what we have here. It looks exciting. Is it exciting enough that you'll pick it up, you think?
To be honest, I don't I depending on what other games come out around that time frame will determine if I'll get it. But if there's no other games and I already played all my backlog of games that I wanted to play, then I'll pick it up. But it's not something I'll probably jump to only because I played the other previous Far Cry games and like it just doesn't feel very unique. You know what I mean? Like like you talked about, like they have the same kind of like story beats. You're taking out this like tyrannical leader, and obviously if it's gonna be similar to like Far Cry 5, he's gonna have like sub people, like sub leaders under him before you attack the main guy, him, and it just feels very similar. It's like sort of that's. I'm not like very hyped for it, basically.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't feel. I mean, the game looks great. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not too hyped over it. It's just. I feel like once you've played one Far Cry game, you played them all.
Yeah, and from honest opinion, like from other people that love Far Cry, they always say that Far Cry 3 is the best Far Cry.
Yeah.
So and since then, it's been kind of like copy and paste almost with different story beats, story like leads and stuff.
Yes.
I don't know. Well, it apparently comes out February 18th, 2021 for PC, PS4, PS5, Stadia, Xbox One, Xbox Series X.
Yep.
So depending on what other games come out around that time frame, will determine if I'll get it.
Alrighty, that concludes our breakdown. Thank you guys for watching. And if you liked the video, you can always support us by liking and subscribing. And comment down below, what did you guys think about the showcase? What games are you guys looking forward to the most?
And of course, too, guys, check out the today's sponsor, today's video. See the support on there. Also, supports us right here. And if you guys want to hang with us, be sure to check us out on our own Twitch channel. We stream every Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Hope to see you there.
Studley Boy signing out. See you guys later.
Hey, guys.